Hello everybody, can you see the creator here? Oh, that's what's the problem. And I am here today to react to the Owl House. But first things first.
Stop! Right there! Who are you? And how did you get in?
Here we are. This is the part I left off.
Bitch named Ida the Owl Lady. Ida's a bit of a scam artist, sending her pet owl to the human world through this fold-up portal door to collect garbage she can sell to people in the boiling isles. She's also wanted by the police. It's a fun fact for you. So when Luce draws a crowd to Ida's little flea market booth, a cop shows up to arrest her. But Ida's like, nah dude, it's episode 1, I ain't getting caught, and speeds off, taking Luce with her. They soon wind up at Ida's house. You know, the Owl House. Where Luce meets Ida's roommate.
The ferocious, the evil, the king of demons.
He's just a tiny little baby!
Ida and Luce make a deal. Ida will help Luce get back home if she helps them break into a prison called the Conformatorium to steal back King's crown. It's not like Luce has any other options, so she agrees. They get inside the prison, find King's, Burger King crown, freaking clickbait, start a prison riot, and escape in one piece. Ida keeps up her half of the deal and opens a portal to send Luce home. But, given the choice between an awesome fantasy world where she can be herself and a boring summer camp that will literally erase all her personality, Luce makes the pretty obvious choice to stay in the Boiling Isles. Which is good, because if she hadn't, we wouldn't have a show. So now Luce is living in the Owl House, while lying to her mom that she's at summer camp because apparently there are cell towers that connect between realms. She's working for Ida, learning to become a witch, and finding out that the fantasy life ain't all it's cracked up to be.
Like, let me tell you, in the Owl House,
yeah, Luce's excitement over her magical fantasy life goes south pretty fast since Ida's not really holding up her end of the bargain. Instead of teaching Luce about magic, she's mostly just giving her odd jobs and chores.
Rip-off artist! Ow! My foot!
So in the meantime, Luce goes exploring and makes a couple friends, Willow and Gus. These two are students at Hexside School of Magic and Demonics.
Before we continue, please, I beg of you, why do you hate Gus so much? I love him. Like, I love certain characters in the Owl House. I love Gus as well. But why are so many people against Gus? Like, every time I see somebody react to the Owl House, for some weird reason, the only one they don't like is Gus. What is it? Is it because sometimes he doesn't always say the right thing? I don't know if you know this, but there is always supposed to be a cartoon character who says dumb stuff, but at the same time you love them anyway. Or are we forgetting that this is still a cartoon? Because I think sometimes y'all forget, with all the adult humor sometimes that be in some of these shows, and with all the dark themes and everything, I think y'all keep forgetting that this is still a kid's show. Which means that they are going to act like kids, and Gus is like the embodiment of that, besides King, of course. So I just don't get why y'all hate Gus so much. Like, I love Gus. And like, did y'all see his glow up in season 3? I loved it. All of their designs. I loved all of their designs when they skipped to them in the future. It went away too fast. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. But I will rewatch it and not feel too much pain thinking about it. Okay, let's continue.
Yep, we got a wizard school on our hands.
Yep.
Willow and Gus sneak Luce around the school because she's not really supposed to be there. And of course, hijinks ensue and Luce is banned from Hexside by the end of the day. And Ida loves that. We already know she's a bit of a rebel, but she really hates this witch school and the entire magic industry? Is that the right word? See, in the Boiling Isles, there are these things called covens. They're basically your majors in magic school. The specialty you choose to dedicate your magic powers to. Sounds cool. But when you choose a coven, all your other magic is locked away. That is, unless you make it into the fancy pants Emperor's coven. Ida hates all that, so she never joined a coven. Which is a big no-no. That's why the cops are always after her. She's sticking it to the man.
You have to choose a coven.
And then there's Lilith. Lilith is the leader of the Emperor's Emperor's Coven, a super powerful witch, and Ida's sister. Being the head of the Emperor's Coven, she's the one in charge of hunting down Ida. She's always trying to catch her, arrest her, and convince her to just join the Emperor's Coven already. So yeah, they don't get along. It's pretty easy to see why Ida hates all this Coven stuff. But even with all that, she still hasn't done much to teach Luz any magic herself. Well, at least, not directly. See, one of the few times Ida reluctantly decided to actually teach Luz something, she was like, ugh, fine, just make a circle in the air using the power stored inside the gross green sac attached to your heart, and boom. But I don't have a green sac attached to mine. Okay, goodbye, going to sleep forever. Well, that was a bust. Oh my god, giant monster! So yeah. Fun fact, Ida's cursed!
Yep.
She doesn't remember why. All she knows is that she has to take her medicine or else... Yeah. So while Luz is dealing with that, she discovers that even though humans have no magic ability, she can cast spells of her own using an ancient method called... drawing. By drawing these glyphs, Luz can actually do magic, and no one really knows how it works. But she just happens to learn this handy-dandy new skill just in time to turn Ida back to normal. Hooray! Ida's not an owl beast anymore, King still hasn't done much for the overall plot, and Luz is finally learning to become a witch.
If you're asking about travel, dining,
drugstores, the answer is always cash back.
There's another witch in training who's not too keen on Luz's antics. Introducing... Amity. She's the top student at Hexside, and she has had Luz on her crap list ever since she got banned from school. At least, that's how it started. After learning more about each other through several near-death experiences, Amity and Luz start to see more eye to eye. Eventually, Luz learns that Amity is just under a lot of pressure to live up to unrealistic expectations. Amity learns that Luz is just trying to find her way in this crazy new world, and eventually, they become friends, which is nice. But, I mean, they don't really see each other a ton. It's not like they go to the same school or anything. Hey, kid, I don't really know what I'm doing, so, you're going to school now. Okay, bye. Okay. Sure, Ida went down to Hexside, spoke to the principal, got the ban lifted, somehow didn't get arrested in the process, and now Luz is going to witch school. Hooray! School is cool. Being at Hexside's going alright for Luz. Or, well, it's a cartoon about magic school, so obviously going alright means constantly getting in trouble, fighting off monsters, and nearly dying on a weekly basis. You know, high school. But then, Grom comes around. Grom is Hexside's version of prom. There's music and dancing and a fight to the death between one chosen student and a monster that manifests itself as their greatest fears. You know, high school. And this year, the chosen student is Amity. Oh boy. Well, at least we got to know her a bit before she dies. Actually, Luz decides to take Amity's place and face her own fear instead. This goes okay. Until it doesn't. The Grom monster takes the form of Luz's mom, scolding her over lying about going to camp, and Luz just can't confront it. But then Amity steps in to save Luz from Grom. The monster shapeshifts to become Amity's biggest fear, and all it does is take a piece of paper out of her pocket and rip it up. The paper read, "Will you go to Grom with me?" Luz sees this and was like, "Aw, you were afraid of getting rejected, you stupid idiot." And then the two defeat Grom together through the power
Oh, dance!
So everything was fine in the end. But wait, the other half of Amity's note has become unfolded. The entire note reads, "Luz, will you go to Grom with me?" So while the fandom freaks out over that, let's pop back over to Ida. While Luz is going to school, learning magic, and making friends, Ida's struggling. Her curse is getting worse. It takes more elixirs and more of Ida's own magic to keep the owl beast at bay. Lilith keeps telling her that if she just joins the Emperor's Coven, the Emperor could kill the curse himself. But, yeah, that's a no-go. Then one day, Luz and her friends take a field trip to the Emperor's castle. Right around the same time, Lilith barges into said castle after another failed attempt to arrest Ida. Luz follows her to the Emperor's room, and this place is creepy, man. There's a giant green heart pumping over the throne, and as Lilith approaches, the Emperor is struggling to breathe. But then he cracks open whatever this is, pours hot soup in his eyes, and he's suddenly better. This is normal. It's very normal. But yeah, this is Emperor Bellows. 50 years ago, he rose to power, claiming that he could speak to the Titan that birthed the Boiling Isles, and said everyone was doing magic wrong. They were all using magic freely, like Ida. But Bellows was like, no. So he created the Coven system and punished anyone who didn't fall in line. Emperor Bellows promised to heal Ida's curse if Lilith can arrest her and bring her to him. But if Lilith fails, she'll be fired and treated like a criminal. So while Luce is sneaking around the castle, Lilith attacks and takes her hostage to draw Ida out. The two then meet at the castle for a duel. They're flying through the air, teleporting, zapping each other all zoop, 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 and it's really cool. But then Lilith's like, oh, by the way, that curse that ruined your life? Yeah, that was me. I did that. And I feel bad about it, but I'm gonna throw your kid off the cliff now. So, that's a thing now. Truth's out, Ida's furious, and Luce is falling to her death.
Girl. I don't
care. Flashback time. So,
I don't care if she thought she had no chance against Ida. She should have known that Ida was a good sister, and she didn't want to fight against her. Which is, how come she never first didn't join the Coven system? Because at first she wanted to join the Emperor's Coven, and along with her sister, but they said there was only one spot. So, you know, obviously Ida backed up, and Lily realized, oh no, what have I done? I put that curse on her for nothing. I should have known she was going to back off. And then the curse hits. Lilith, you messed up big. You messed up big. But you know, she makes up for it because she does share the pain of the curse with Ida. It took her a while to get used to it, but eventually she gets used to it. And we get Heartbeat Lilith in season 3. I'm so sorry I'm spoiling everything, but seriously guys, this is a recap episode. Of course y'all are already gonna know it. Of course, if y'all watching this recap with me, you'll have to know everything that already happened in the Owl House. If y'all don't, I beg of you, please, go watch the Owl House. What are you doing if you haven't watched the Owl House? What, are you living on a rock or something? Anyway, yeah, let's continue the recap. I'm sorry, I keep pausing this.
Way back when Ida and Lilith were kids, they were training at Hexside, and for their final exam, they'd have to battle each other to decide who would enter the Emperor's Coven. But Lilith knew Ida was better than her, so she put a curse on her that she thought would stop her powers for a day. Instead, it just turned her into a giant owl beast. Ida didn't even want to join the Coven. You didn't have to do any of this. But, oh well, this is reality now. Ida is now forever cursed for no good reason, and Lilith just takes her place at the Emperor's Coven. Flash forward back to the action. Luce is still falling to her death, but Ida quickly casts a spell to save her, using up the last of the magic, keeping her from permanently becoming the Owl Beast. Alright. Cool. So, we all hate Lilith now, right? We're in agreement here? Sick. But the Emperor promised to heal Ida, right? That's why Lilith's been doing all this. Well, guess what? Bellows lied, refuses to heal Ida, and now he's gonna turn her into petrified stone and force everyone to watch. Whoopsies! Oopsie poopsies! Luce and King manage to infiltrate the castle and find Ida, who comes to her senses long enough to give Luce the portal to the human realm and tell her to go home. Ida is then carted away to be petrified. Big poopy. But then Lilith shows up and asks to work with Luce to make things right. Big poopy? But, of course, the Emperor immediately captures them. Big poopy. Bellows makes Luce a deal. He'll let Luce go to save her friends in exchange for the portal to the human realm.
Okay, seriously, you guys, I am so sorry, but I'm going to be pausing this throughout the whole entire thing. But I also want to tell you guys that I freaking... Listen, I may hate Bellows with all fiber of my being, but the voice actor for Bellows, dude, he plays it so well. Like, it is amazing, the voice actor for Bellows. Like, I promise you, each time I see a scene with him, I am just enamored by it. I'm just wondering, what's coming next? I just love the voice actors in all of this. Like, I like the voice actor for Luce, for Emily, for King, for Gus, for Willow. I love the voice actors for all of them. And you already heard me say about how I love the voice actor for Ida. Anyway, let's continue.
Really know why he wants it yet, but it's probably for bad reasons. But Luce agrees. only to pull a fast one on the Emperor, using her magic to rig the portal to explode, stopping the Emperor's plans, but destroying her only way back home. Luce then stops the petrification, escapes with her friends, and heads back to the Owl House. Lilith redeems herself by casting a spell to give herself half of Ida's curse, which turns Ida back to normal, but her magic's still gone. But hey, now Luce gets to teach Ida how to do all that cool paper magic stuff. Everyone is safe, and they all lived happily ever after. For now? Yeah, all this was just season 1. The Emperor still has some tricks up his sleeve. It all has to do with something called the Day of Unity and this giant machine he's building out of the remains of Ida's portal door. Plus, Luce's mom keeps getting all of these letters from Luce at camp that she definitely isn't sending. So, even though so much has already happened in just this one season, the Owl House is just getting started. But I can't help but feel like I've forgotten something. I've covered every major plot point across all the episodes, I got most of the big cliffhangers, but I just feel like something's missing. I forgot Hootie! How could you forget about the best character in the show, Hoot? I protect the house!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I also love Hootie.
Maybe I should have just done another Steven Universe video.
Injuries and bills don't stop.
I'm sorry, guys. I meant to also say I like Hootie, of course. I mean, Hootie is a delight. Like, seriously.
And we're back.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry guys, I'm breaking this into parts. I'm going to be reacting to, this is my reaction to the recap of season 1, and now and after this I'm going to watch